Hey, let's pull back the curtain on your computer, shall we? We're going to make sense of where all your digital stuff, your photos, your documents, your music, actually goes. Just stick with me and I promise, by the end of this, you are going to be the master of your digital domain.
Come on, we've all been there, right? That feeling of panic, frantically searching through a messy desktop, trying to find that one important file you saved somewhere. It's like losing your keys in your own house. But what if I told you we could set up a system so that never, ever happens again?
So, how do we get a handle on all this digital chaos? Well, let's use a really simple but powerful analogy. I want you to start picturing your entire computer as a big, physical filing cabinet. Seriously, once you see it this way, everything else is just going to click into place.
When you boil it all down, computers really only do two main things. First, they process data. That's the thinking part, like when you're typing up an email or editing a photo. And second, they store that data. If you want to keep that email or that photo, it needs a permanent home. And that stored information, that's the digital version of all the papers and documents we'd shove into our filing cabinet.
Okay, so if our computer is the cabinet, what about all the individual papers inside? And what about those manila folders we'd use to keep them all neat and tidy? Well, that brings us to the two most fundamental building blocks of your entire digital world: files and folders. So, first up, the file. A file is the actual thing. It's the basic little box where your information lives. Think about a Word document, a vacation photo, or an MP3 of your favorite song. Each one of those is a single file. It's the digital piece of paper.
And of course, you wouldn't just throw all those important papers into a cabinet drawer at random, right? No way. You'd use folders to group them together. A digital folder does the exact same thing. It is literally just a container. You put all your vacation photos into a folder called Vacation 2024 and all your work reports into a Quarterly Reports folder. It's how you bring order to the digital chaos.
Now, this table really breaks down the practical differences. Just look at the storage row. A file is what actually holds the data, so it takes up memory space. A folder, on the other hand, is just a label, a container, so it takes up almost no space at all. Then look at operation. You read and write to a file, like you're working on a document, but you create and rename a folder to organize those files. See? They have totally different jobs.
So you see, it's all about this hierarchy, this system of containers inside of other containers. You've got your files, the actual documents. You organize those files into folders. But where do the folders themselves live? Well, they're all stored on something called a drive.
Okay, let's talk about those drives. These are the actual physical or virtual locations where all your folders and all your files are kept. In our analogy, these are the heavy-duty filing cabinets, and maybe even the entire storage rooms of our digital office.
You've definitely seen these around. The main storage drive inside your computer is either an old-school hard disk drive, or more likely these days, a super-fast solid-state drive, or SSD. Then you have your portable stuff, the tiny USB flash drive for carrying files, a bigger external hard drive for making backups, and memory cards that go in your camera. A network drive is a little different. That's usually a shared storage space you see in offices, something you access over the company network.
I absolutely love this quote because it just perfectly captures the magic of modern technology. I mean, think about it. A little device you can easily lose in your pocket, the size of a stick of gum, can hold a massive amount of data. That's more storage than an entire high-end computer had just a few years ago. It is truly amazing.
Okay, so we've covered the physical filing cabinets that are right there in your office. But what about that giant, super secure warehouse you can access from anywhere in the world? Well, my friends, that is the cloud. To put it simply, cloud storage just means you're saving your files somewhere else, not on your own computer, but on these powerful remote servers owned by companies like Google or Microsoft or Dropbox. And the absolute key benefit here is access. As long as you have an internet connection, your files are right there for you on your laptop, your phone, anywhere. But, it is a trade-off. The upsides are fantastic. You can get to your files from anywhere, share them with a simple link, and, this is a big one, if your computer completely dies, your files are still perfectly safe. On the other hand, you're totally dependent on the internet, you might have to pay for more space, and keeping your account secure with a strong password becomes absolutely 100% non-negotiable. All right, you get the landscape now. You know the difference between a file, a folder, and a drive. So now, let's put you in the driver's seat. This is where we talk about the practical skills you need to become a true digital organizer. Your command center for all of this is a program called File Explorer in Windows, or Finder on a Mac.
Think of this tool as the key that lets you swing open the doors to your digital filing cabinet. It shows you that whole hierarchy we talked about, all your drives, all your folders, all your files, and lets you move, copy, rename, and delete them with ease.
Now listen up, because here is a hugely important practical tip. When you're finished with a USB drive, please do not just yank it out. That's like grabbing a piece of paper out of someone's hands while they're still writing on it. You could mess up the data. Instead, just follow these simple steps to eject it safely. Find that little USB icon, click it, tell the computer you're taking the device out, and wait for that Safe to Remove message. It takes 2 seconds, and it can save you a world of hurt.
And really, this brings us to the most crucial point. Digital organization isn't a one-time thing. It's a set of good habits. Name your files logically. 2024 tax receipt is 1,000 times better than scan_001. Use folders to group related things. Save your work constantly. And most importantly, have a backup. A second copy of your most important files, either on an external drive or in the cloud, is the ultimate safety net. I mean, think about it. Losing years of family photos or a huge work project, a backup prevents that kind of heartache.
And that's our deep dive. You now have the complete blueprint. You get the files, the folders, the drives, and the cloud. You are no longer just a resident of your digital world. You are its architect. So I'll leave you with this question. Looking at your own computer right now, what's the very first thing you're going to organize?